if I have this delusion that it's going to end up being great, then I'm going to work and move like it's going to end up being great. I started to enjoy more often than not than making mistakes and failing. So that became empowering in its own way. Philosophical way. Everything that you're doing is purposeful. All right. So you don't need to feel like it's impactful in a specific way. Fun part about just like living is that you can just do shit.
Highest Version Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Highest Version Podcast. I'm your host, Rennie Fulvong, and on this podcast, we talk about falling in love with the process of getting better every day, becoming the highest version of ourselves. Today's guest is Kyle Ook, and we welcome him back, the brother from another mother. He is so passionate about storytelling and life lessons. He is driven for a growth mindset, and to me, and to a lot of people, he has one of the meanest thuggies I've ever seen. So without further ado, let's welcome back Kyle. What's up,
good?
dog?
What's good?
Welcome back, dude. Thank you for coming on a second time for a second season.
Of course, dude. No, this was there's lots to talk about, you know? Lots to talk about and lots of growth from both of us.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. We're pros now.
I will put my pros and my version of pro as a podcaster in quotations.
Dude, I have way less reps than you, so I'm like, that means my version of pro is even worse.
What is it, G League, and then your G League Ignite?
Oh, maybe I might be the G League Ignite. put me in college, bro. It's March Madness.
No, oh yes, shout out to March Madness. So, bro, how is your mental health nowadays?
It remains to be great. I'm like, damn, I might just already like throw in stuff, but like it was funny because I was talking to one of my friends the other day because we were kind of like wellness check, just talking about stuff like that. And the topic of like overall mentality kind of got thrown in there. And I think I've always been a relatively like optimistic person. But also I think that just has within my mentality like remained consistent, I guess.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of crazy to say, but I don't think that like I've felt like lows of lows. And I think that not that it won't ever exist or anything like that, but I find it very, very hard for me to like be in or fall into like spaces like that. Yeah. And it's just intriguing, I guess.
No, it really is. Because one of the first questions I actually have for you is, how do you stay so high energy and happy all the time? This is a great segue.
That's perfect, dude. Yeah, no, it's actually really funny because, like I said, that conversation and just like sprinkles within my life, trying to like reflect on that as well. In terms of like, staying positive or just showing that or just being that, I guess, overall, because lots of people have also asked me that. Right, both high energy but also just like relatively positive and not like down or anything like that. And it's still stuff that I'm figuring out and like plotting within my head, I guess, because I do love to like make connections and stuff, so I'm sure there is even more stuff, but I think I use this interchangeably, but I think I am like blessed and lucky. That has to do with my upbringing, the people around me, my family, like just all that, I think is a reflection of like how blessed I am. And I like to say that because I'm like fortunate to have that. And I think as I've realized that I am like blessed and like my life is blessed in that kind of way, I try to make the hard work that like match that, I guess, right? Yeah. Because there's lots of people who are, I would say, blessed. This is a tangent. This is a tangent, right? But in a lot of my favorite like stories or just characters and stuff like that, right? I think there are people who are naturally like blessed or lucky, right? Whatever in in said story,
Yeah.
right? This could be, you know, a major like fantasy like battle thingy or whatever, but it's just someone who is like, you know, blessed with the abilities to do this or that, right? I think those characters are usually like pretty boring.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
What I find the most interesting about those characters and when they're done right is when they acknowledge how blessed or like, yeah, lucky or like how much of a genius they are, right? Rather than them trying to fake struggle, even though it's like, oh, you already know they're gonna be like, they're gonna figure out a way or like be at the top because they are just like perfect in that kind of way. So yeah, my favorite thing is when they do acknowledge it and they take that as like a power of their own. So I guess to like round it all out, like I take like my blessing or my luck as a power of my own, but also, like I said, I really try to have my hard work match that.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way it feels right.
Yeah.
Plenty of people, like I said, can be in that space, but just not utilize it or take advantage of it. And I think that's when it starts to get like you're wasting that, you know?
Yeah, wasting potential, like wasting just these opportunities that are present in front of you.
And like that's why like I really reflect on like the people around me and my upbringing and stuff like that. Like because that shaped me to who I am. And then I do think my natural like morality or temperament or whatever, like that's lucky on its own too, even though that can be shaped as well too from other people. So yeah, like whenever I'm able to take a minute to reflect on that and just like show appreciation to that, I think my way of showing appreciation to that is by working hard and like continuing that energy and that like positivity, I guess.
Yeah, man. That's so interesting because I feel like I also had that same perspective on making sure my work ethic matches that luck that I do have.
Yeah.
I do have, I had a pretty good upbringing.
Yeah.
And very lucky and fortunate. Like, you know, parents came here, didn't have to think about, you know, surviving with them through like refugee camps, going through their experience and making sure I make the best of the opportunity or else it's going to be wasted.
Yeah.
But to me, but I took that in a different route, I guess you can say, because I took that as pressure.
Yeah.
And to not go. And that's hard. I mean, that was hard for me, man. I think I've told you many stories about how I just crumbled to the pressure.
Yeah.
And, but yet, even through that, you're just still so positive on it.
Yeah. I mean, I do think the pressure part like exists. But yeah, I mean, it does help a lot to take in what or take the stuff that like our ancestors have done for us and like try to do right on that. And I do think that's like a piece of the pie that I'm talking about. But yeah, I think there's just like some fate type stuff as well too that I equate this like blessed and like luck to, where it's just like not something tangible, but it just exists. And because yeah, like I mean the chances this is getting like super super like whatever, but like just the possibility to like be here at this specific time frame and all that kind of stuff. I do think there's just certain appreciation or like value in that as well too.
You have a huge sense of gratuity. And did you learn that or was that always within you? I feel like a lot of this stuff is just all like a lot within you, you know?
That's the thing that I try to like reflect on, because I do think like it is part within me, and now that's what I'm saying, like I try to connect the dots because it's nice to figure out why, I guess. But sometimes it is just like within you, and those are the things that I talk about or I'm trying to mention, where I'm just like I'm like lucky to think that way or be that way in a more like natural, like base form. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like not everyone has or is like that in their base form. So I'm like, I don't know, it just gives me more and more appreciation. And it's weird because like it's not trying to be in a like better than or whatever like that. I just I do think it's just base form, which is like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. But you've been throughout your life, even from the first episode, you've been given a lot of life tests, right? Like your you know, biological dad passing, and then you know, having to build a new relationship with like a new father figure in life, going through so many injuries. Like, how does your brain, or how do you approach those situations where you do have setbacks in life, or just really heavy, you know, things that happen to you?
Yeah, I will say that the thing that I'm pretty bad at right now is sitting in that. I think it's important to do that. To sit in the setbacks or like the down emotions a little bit, because there is like lots to learn in that. But in terms of how I've handled it in general, take what I was saying in the beginning and just compound that with like delusion.
Oh, you're so right sometimes though. I literally talked to Nali yesterday about how imagination is so powerful, because you can literally alter your sense of reality. Yeah.
And I think both of those have never made me feel like they are truly like setbacks. Like they are setbacks, but I've never like, and I don't want to speak in like it's guarantees. Like I don't want to speak in guarantees, but like so far I've never like come across certain things that felt like I wasn't gonna just like get past this.
Yeah.
And that's like I said, a part of it being just this blessed life thing, and then the delusion of like the delusion that things are going to remain great for me, or like they will round its way out to continue being great because I am blessed. Yeah, in that kind of way. Yeah. So
I think you also just have a lot of trust in yourself too. And that's where the work ethic, you know, your hard work matching your luck, is that, you know, no matter what comes your way, you'll figure it out. Whether it takes a day, a month, or a year, like you are able to figure it out.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it coincides with, or ends up coinciding with that, because it's like, if I have this delusion that it's going to end up being great, then I'm going to work and move like it's going to end up being great. And by the product of that is that I'm just working towards like improvement, or just like bettering whatever the situation is, or like myself and stuff. So, I mean, maybe I am hacking my brain like in a positive way, and like, you know, taking those thoughts and just rewiring it to be like continuously,
it's good, try
to improve and do good or whatever.
Yeah.
But I also truly believe it. So maybe I've really done this and really rewired my brain from an early days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
dude, that's crazy. I wish I also had that same hacking, because I did not hack myself to that. Let me tell you, the coding that went in it is like, oh, sad.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why like it's like just fascinating for me, because like I try to, I think one of the things that I care a lot about is, and like I care a lot about, and I regard highly about myself, right, is my empathy. Right? I do think I'm a pretty empathetic person, and by understanding, you know, and seeing other people's like struggles and stuff like that, it's made me reflect on these things. And that's why it interests my own self about like why and how I operate this way. Because it doesn't make too much sense to me. Yeah. And like, yeah, it's just, but I try to continue that, that momentum, I guess. Like I've lived this way my whole life. So it kind of just continues on. But like I said, I do think that you know, I don't try to bring it up or talk about it in a way that like devalues
Right.
other people's like who do struggle with the opposite. And yeah, it's just fascinating to me to both hear the other side but also think about my own self in comparison.
Going more into like what you're doing for 26, I know you've been talking to me about your journey with finding, you know, not passion, but figuring out your like career trajectory as well as what you want to do creatively. I know you recently opened a podcast with one of your family members, which is dope. And then also finding more clientele and jobs for yourself as a videographer. A big question to you is, you know, when things feel like they're not progressing, how do you stay motivated in those situations?
Dude, I'm telling you, it just goes back to that same thing. And I just like, I wish I wish that there was, that's why I like always want to figure out more and reverse engineer this because I'm delusional. And I have this delusion that everything will like work out because of all the things that we've just talked about. Fun part about just like living is that you can just do shit. And I think that I understand enough about myself to know that there is lots of things that I do love and want to try out.
Okay.
And if one thing doesn't or like hits a wall the way that you're explaining, one, I can continue to go and have this delusion that, you know, things will work out. But the other thing is just that there are more things like in life or for me to do. So that gives me like relief in some kind of way as well too. I don't think we're, you know, like here to do one thing or like you have to find that one thing or whatever. I think like people are multifaceted enough to do and pursue many things, and capitalism exists. And that's like a big deterring factor for people. But I think it you just have to be creative as well too in those pockets where it's like you know, you have to play the game of like capitalism and stuff a little bit, but just in general, I think it's hard to like fully deter me from something because there's just so many things in general. Yeah.
Dude, I feel like when, again, going back to your mindset has a lot of focusing on that you always know that there's an opportunity and that things are going to work out. So now that we're both in our 20s.
Yep.
What do you think what mindset should other people who are also in their 20s, maybe early 30s, that can ensure that they are self-improving?
So I think more recently, I think the last time we talked on this pod, I had talked about how I had felt like I wasn't doing everything that I wanted to do. Right. And there was like this fear of failure, blah, blah, blah. And then like that was restricting me. Right. I think that is a sense of freedom that I've gained more recently in terms of being able to do and try more things out the way that I envisioned without this fear, right? But the next layer that I've come across more recently is that with the freedom to do anything per se, I have been like restrictive about what I'm doing.
Okay. Yeah, elaborate.
Yeah. Things have to feel a certain way for me to like either want to pursue or like do something, right? Because I feel like I have the freedom to choose whatever, right? But yeah, by not doing anything, I think that's a more like limiting factor, if that makes sense.
I need a little bit more explanation on that.
Yeah. All right. let me try to be more concise with this.
Okay.
Right. I now have the freedom to do or to choose whatever I want. Right. But I think that I can rely so heavily on like feeling that I can restrict myself from just doing something without knowing the end result or whatever, right? So it's different from before when it was, like I said, fear-based, because it's like less fear-based now, but more so I want to do it if it's like it fully aligns with me, or like I feel really strongly about doing this or that, right? That has been the bar that got set once I felt like I broke free, right?
Yeah.
But by doing that, everything has to reach that threshold for me to want to attempt it. And one, not everything is going to reach that threshold, but also very little things are actually going to reach that threshold.
Yeah.
So because I've put this fake bar now of like, now that I have the freedom, I only want to choose the most perfect things for my life. That has actually made me do less.
Yeah.
And I think that to tie it back to your question, essentially, it's just if you have the freedom like to choose, then there is freedom in actually doing the action. Like those are two different kinds of freedoms, because doing the action will get results in different experiences, I guess. Yeah.
So when you talk about freedom, and that's freedom from the fear of failure, right? Or and how did you reach in your specific career, like how did you reach at least go past that fear of failure or achieve this freedom that you're talking about?
I think just failing more often than not. Now that I've been doing it more, or just like once I got past the initial stage of not wanting to fail, blah blah blah, and like getting through that, I started to enjoy more often than not than making mistakes and failing. So that became empowering in its own way. So where I do have just the freedom of choice, I guess, in whatever like lane I might want to take or something, or just in general. Like if we want to freaking choreograph for this set, I'm like, there's a lack of fear that comes from that nowadays compared to before. Yeah. It's
just your intention and your understanding of why. And it's so crazy because it resonates also like with your brother, who he has a good everything that he does and the way that he moves. And I'm not just talking about dance, but like life decisions too. He has a good understanding of his why, and that's what drives him at the end of the day. Like he's not gonna do, by his brother I mean Vatana. Like he's not gonna do something just to do it.
Yeah.
Because he'll find no fire or passion with it. And that's with you as well. Like the way that you move, the way you are intentional with, with coaching and how you'd want to develop your players. There's a why behind it. You're not gonna just be like, oh, I just need you to do some like 2-ball dribbling so that you can get better at handles. No, you're gonna pick the drill that has the most intention and reasoning like behind it.
Yeah. See, to bounce off that now. That's why I'm like, I think all that, and I appreciate that, like you recognize that, but also like appreciate that in your own sense. But I was saying, what I can find to be a struggle with that sometimes is that sometimes not everything has to be so perfectly intentional or like so strong within reason. Sometimes it is feelings based, and if you have an inkling for it, I think that you should go for it. And that's why, to once again like round it back to the first thing that you were talking about, like how people can do, or like how people should move for like self-improvement and stuff like that. I do think there's a power in just doing, even if not everything is perfectly aligned, or not everything is clear cut, I guess. Yeah. I've spent a lot of time thinking about like, oh yeah, one day I'm a coach. That was like as soon as I got out of high school. Like I was like, oh, I think coaching would be cool. So that's something that has been brewing, and I've, thought about every here and now up until this past like year or so. But I think that there is value in just doing it when I felt that at that time too. Yeah. Because I would have came and figured out the answers probably faster, and I probably would have had more reps anyways doing it. Right. And more enjoyment, blah, blah, blah. Like I would have found certain value in general. Right. Yeah. So I think people in general should focus on that as well. Yeah. And just the act of like doing, essentially.
Yeah, I think your 20s are made for you to do a lot of things to explore yourself. I feel like before we even hit 20, we are still trying to figure ourselves out. But in order to do that, you must put action and steps towards it. I think the more we try to plan, the more we have to assume that something has to be perfect in order for us to execute it. That's where you end up actually at a stop sign versus like actually progressing. And along with that, the action item, the practical technique of that is reflecting on what you did. And if you did make a mistake, like how to not do that again. I'm saying it in a healthy way too, because I do this where like I should never have done that. Yeah. And then I'm beating myself, which is in a way it's progressing me back versus like reflecting, okay, how can I do this moving forward? Yep.
And then some people are the other way too, where it's just like they didn't do anything. And then they're like, damn, I should have done this or that. And at the same time, they also don't know if that would have been the correct answer, which in my opinion it is a worse feeling, because that you had done something and you're like, damn, I did it like bad or like embarrassing in this kind of way. But the next time I do it, I'm going to do it in a different way rather than someone who has never done it and still has that question mark of like, damn, would I enjoy doing that? I think that is more crippling, I guess. And I mean, like I said, it's just tying back to the way that I was trying to explain the freedom of doing versus the freedom of choice. Yeah. Because sometimes it's like a very, very simple like version of that is like you're hopping on Netflix and you're like, damn, there's like 30 things in my watch list. Let me like go through each one and see if there's something interesting. I don't watch anything. And I just spent an hour looking at what I want to watch. Yeah. It's like the fatigue of having so much choice will make you end up doing nothing. So that's what my new freedom has been showing me in pockets, at least. Yeah. Like there's like, stuff that I keep wanting to brew. And I'm like, well, I don't need to brew this. Like, just do it. Yeah. Because I'll figure out all the other stuff after.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think going outside of mentality in your 20s, I think mentality just in wellness and getting the most out of your life is that doing part and never having to wonder. That was such a big mindset change that I had recently, last year. Never wondering about what if I go on this trip or what if I go through this experience. For other people out there, at least some of my friends I talk to, most of it is like, what if I ask this person out? Yep. Or what if I take this job? It's a lot of like what ifs in life. There's always going to be what ifs in life. I know people talk about forks in the road when it comes to life decisions, but to be honest, there's like 80 million paths that we can take, and it's all about the decision that you're going to make will guide you somewhere, but you just have to react to everything that happens to you and respond in a way that is authentic to you. Yeah. Because not every path is going to be the same. That's the first thing that you told me when I started this whole podcast. Like, your path is, are you willing to go through maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 years of doing this podcast and have the same amount of views? Or do you want it out? Like, do you want it out in the first year? Yeah. And you warned me that if you want to go that 1 year route, may not be the best, but it's really up to you. Yeah. And going into that, it's like I just never wanted to wonder what the outcome of this is. Like I want to give it my all and have that intention behind helping and talking about wellness and hoping that it does touch people. And for some people it has. But yeah, just that mindset of never wondering.
I agree. And like it ties once again to another thing that I was like, it's just like this philosopher or whatever. Like he had this like quote for he's like a existentialism like philosopher, right?
Yeah.
And I think one of his quotes was like existence precedes essence. And I was like, okay, what does that mean?
Yeah. I was like, what does that mean? So you use very big words.
So I mean, in what he was trying to say, and like I said, this actually does tie back to everything that we're talking about, is that like people exist and are born and gain consciousness, and then everything that they do after that determines who they are, like as people and their values and their meaning, I guess, in general in life, right? He equates certain things of like a trash bin and a desk, right? Like their meanings are set because like a trash bin is for trash, a desk is used for desk like things. Yeah.
Beautifully said.
So what the difference with humans is that like we create our own meaning and our value. Like we are a blank canvas once we gain consciousness in our existence and stuff like that. And everything that we do, like I said, determines who we are and what we are. And I think the only way to gain that meaning or value is by doing stuff and like trying things out. So yeah. I mean, like I said, to tie back to the question, I'm like, dude, people should value, and like I advocate for sure to just do and try stuff.
Yeah. And I think another thing that you kind of sparked in my mind is about creating value within yourself. There's a lot of people out there that don't understand their value or don't know what their self-worth is.
Yep.
And the beautiful thing about it is that you can actually create it for yourself. You don't have to rely on someone else to give yourself value. But society and how we grew up that's how we were taught, that your value is based off how someone thinks of you.
Yep.
And there's the beauty of creating value, and you can do this through service. You can do this through purpose. You can do this through just being a kind human being to people around you. And that's how you kind of create that value, and that it's not something that's building that self-worth, building that self-confidence isn't as hard as we think it is, I think. Yep. And that could be a very controversial saying, because I know a lot of people, even saying it to myself, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe,
And I mean, shit, it goes back to the same thing we're talking about. Sometimes we're overcooking.
Yeah.
And like, there's no, like a lot of the things that you do and are saying like make sense, and like it is worth caring about, right? But that doesn't mean that being so tied to that should stop you from doing and creating that value for yourself.
Yeah.
So it is like a paradox in a way, or like it kind of just like conflicts with each other. But and for sure, people in that space, even if they recognize it, it's still going to be hard for them. But I do think that the attempt, even in what like if it's like a baby step in whatever way that it is for them, is like important.
Yeah, and that's literally goes back to, we are the creators, the writers of our own life. We are a blank canvas that we can create this amazing life story.
Yep, I'm a huge advocate for that, man. I'm a huge advocate for that.
So, man, there's been a lot of growth that you have had in the past year that we were talking offline, off camera about, and part of that was unlearning things. Talk to me about just the growth you've had in this past year.
Yeah. I mean, it really does tie back to, what we were talking about earlier in terms of just gaining a sense of freedom. I think that I felt like I was definitely struggling a lot with making the moves that I wanted to make, because one, they had to be perfect or whatever, but I felt like there were also just restricting things that I needed to take care of first. And yeah, more recently, it's kind of just been all thrown out the fucking window. And it's like things are all progressing at the same time, I guess. You know, like I could be before like high strung in a way that was like, oh, I need to have this set before I partake in this. So it's like something as simple as like, oh, like I need job security before I can jump onto doing like artistic stuff or whatever, right? Because that is like a lot of like a big wall for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I think that was how I would operate more often than not before, and trying to embrace, like I said, the freedom to do things more recently has been good within both my professional life and just like personal. So being able to go into any space that interests me professionally has been pretty fun, because I think that, you know, like I was saying, I've been brewing something like coaching. Now I'm actually like coaching and like getting paid for that. So that's like, you know, a mini side quest that I was doing. And my more like the route that most people know me for, obviously videography, and just like creating content in general. I think that has also made me realize that I want to just like do a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Before it was kind of like, I really want this like, you know, big consistent thing, and that's like the dream or whatever, in whatever niche like hits first or something, right? So this might have been like I guess more recently it's been food, because that was like the best way for me to get my foot through the door. But after I did that, I was like, damn, I'm not feeling as like fulfilled. And that was just because I was just doing food. One, it got kind of redundant, but the other thing was I just like to do and spread myself out in all the things that I like enjoy. So I'm like, oh, I've dabbled in like doing a random like car project. Not that I really love cars or anything, but I'm like, that's cool. Like I was talking to earlier when we were eating, it was like, oh, let's do something, or the next goal is like sports related stuff, right? It's all within the same umbrella of like videography and like making content and stuff like that. But now it's like, oh, like what do I truly like? I love you know, books and media and stuff like that. So let's make a freaking podcast. Like I can produce this and make content because I've done that with other people's stuff before. But now it's something that I can both love to talk about and do on my own, but also now it's in that same like ballpark of like professional work or whatever like that. Like I can gain a lot by doing that, even if it's just like a passion project. So that has been a nice endeavor, and then that leads, or that coincides with the personal stuff too. I'm doing a lot less of that unfortunately, but now I feel like I'm more of in the space where I can tackle those things, because I've spent, you know, the time to tackle the more like work things like that, because that was interesting me at the time. Now I'm like, okay, let's do more interesting things that are like, you know, literal like passion projects and stuff like that.
Right.
And one thing that I've been doing, this is day 2.
One thing started yesterday.
This is day 2, but I'm back to having a sketchbook. I had a sketchbook when I was in art school. I suck at drawing. I'm decent at art in general, I would say, but I suck at drawing, and you know, going to school or whatever and like doing hella reps definitely taught me that like you can get better at art. I always used to think it was just like, oh, you got it. But having a sketchbook during that time frame, one, got me like leveled up a lot, but also it was just nice to have an ongoing creative like art project going on. And I think that everyone should have that in whatever way that like makes sense. So I've been advocating this this concept for the past like month or whatever, right? Of just like everyone should have an ongoing art project, one that they don't share or they don't feel the need to share with anyone, because I haven't created art like that since I was like, I mean, those college days a little bit, because technically I needed to have a quota
right
for the class to like check, but they weren't really checking like the quality or anything. It was just really the amount, right? So that, but if it was truly like no one was looking at this, I made it for myself, or like just because I wanted to do it. That was all the way back in like late middle school and like early high school. Like truly something that I just did that I wasn't gonna show anyone. Everything that I've done since has come up with like, oh, I could see myself doing something with this, even if it was for fun. Like, say I really enjoyed making music, or like just like making covers on an instrument or something, right? Even if I made a page and I just posted stuff and I didn't have the intention of getting famous or whatever, that still has the concept of like people watching it, even if that's friends, family, or whatever like that, and is close knit or whatever. But yeah, I haven't done something that truly like no eyes will see. That is like creative, and I think that, like I said, this is day 2, and it's very nice. Because I'm just drawing in this sketchbook. No intentions of like, oh, I need to get better at drawing. I want to show this to people or whatever. It's just an ongoing thing. And it could be a sketchbook. I did like tell my brother that as well. I was like, it's either a sketchbook or like a scrapbook. That's what I meant to say. It could be as simple as that, like scrapbook, or like a photography thing, or like if I were to print out a bunch of like film like off of a camera or whatever, like just for myself, like not even like, oh, like let's look at this back when we're older, or like have an archive or something like that.
I think that opens up a lot of, in terms of doing things for yourself, buying into the interest that you have throughout your life, because like you said, we're multifaceted individuals that have so many different interests. Like, you don't have to have just one. I met people that like, they just want to make money, and, you know, good for you. That's what you want to do. But I believe that there's other things than just doing that, and having this self-fulfillment of trying something new and just doing something just to do it, and not having this fear of, oh, I have to be good at it, which I know we talked about in the first episode. Like, you were so used to being good at a lot of things, and getting over that hump to be like, no, I'm doing this because I'm genuinely interested in it, and it fulfills me in some sort of way that I can't explain. And that is, I'm trying to think like what my creative project that's ongoing. Obviously, I think part of it is the podcast. And trying to explore myself a little bit more with that. I think,
dude, I'm telling you, I think it's even more empowering to find an art project that you're never going to show someone. Because like, I'd never think of that. Like, not that I have taken on whatever projects or do whatever to be like, oh, I want to share this or something. But like, I don't know, there's like an extra power in like with setting the intention of like, oh, this literally does not matter. Even if, because I think people will like take on hobbies because they think they'll enjoy it, and they'll be good at it or something like that. But man, you could be shit at this art project, but you're just doing it. And like, it doesn't even have to be like a, hey, I'm shit at this and I'm still doing it, so you guys can do anything. It's literally just like, oh, I'm shit at this, but you know, I like, only you know that. And it's just internal, and you're just doing it. I think that's what I found really cool about this art project, creative project thing to me. Not that everyone is so pilled in their way that they're like, oh, everything I do got to be like, have some eyes on it or whatever, or like I have to share it with someone. I think even that is like a base thing where I would be like, hey, I've recently been like learning guitar or whatever like that, just as like a random topic for us to talk about. Like this, I guess, art project or whatever, like in theory, it's like no one really knows, no one will see it, but it's something for you to get your brain going in a different way that you don't typically do. I guess. Because I can't say who is, how many are just doing it just to do it. Without intention of showing. I think a lot of I guess, pure like artists are doing that. But it is cool for people who, since a lot of people don't do that, to just tap into that feeling and see where or what that, comes to.
Right. Because the thing that I'm curious about is for people that don't look at art as that are very single dimensional when they think about art. So like drawing, painting, dancing, they are just so focused on that. So it's art, and they feel like they can't do any type of creativity.
Yeah.
In your eyes, like, how can we expand, think about creativity outside of just the normal things that we look at as art? How can we expand that so that way we can allow creativity into our lives?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like the tech bros and those guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, those people. Women, I see you too.
Yes, I agree. I think it'll be unique to the individual for sure.
Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
think that's why I say just a creative project. I don't think that. I think that you can be very, very artistic with something like a scrapbook. With the way that you'll combine stuff or like take certain things to put in that as a memory type thing, or just like a creative artistic way. But scrapping could be literally just like taking a napkin from like the freaking restaurant that we just went to, and then writing down like we just went there or whatever like that, right? And that might sound like crazy, or that probably isn't going to be fulfilling for anyone. But people could, I feel like, can find their version of that as like mundane as it could be. So for like the tech bros or whatever like that, like and even like a sketchbook, I feel like too, y'all could just draw like fucking lines on there, right? Y'all do that for like a month, the lines will look different, bro. Like you're gonna get bored of drawing the same kind of lines. In that kind of way, you're doing something different, and who knows how you're gonna feel after a month, right?
I mean,
and I'm not trying to say that those are the answers, because those are like really, really bad examples.
Yeah, like play tic-tac-toe with yourself once a day,
But that's the thing. It's like, maybe that is their move. Like it's just something to take on a task that you won't normally do, especially for those kinds of people who either don't find the value in it or don't typically do it because they don't think they can themselves or whatever. I think just taking or attempting in whatever way, even if it's as weird as that, I guess you could say, could show you something. And it could be something as simple as like, maybe you don't find yourself to be creative or whatever like that, but you have found a new sense of discipline for doing something super weird for a month. You're like, oh, I never really found interest in this, but I recognize now that I can do something that's kind of weird for a month straight, and find a slot for it. And, that could just open up other things too. Yeah.
It opens up different experiences, different life lessons that we don't think about, that we can't learn from our own work or career or job. Like there's allowing those things to come into your life, different hobbies, and different art forms, or, anything else that you just have an interest in, allows so much, it just adds experience. Like you said, it adds XP.
Yeah.
Right? We're looking at life as a game. It just adds XP. And how does that hurt?
Yeah. And it's just XP in a way that you wouldn't have thought of, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're an artist, maybe you've been doing this, but maybe you've started to get caught up in like the production of your art. So maybe there's value there, but I think, for the average person who isn't like an art fanatic or whatever like that, can find value in it because it's just different. And I think that you will always gain XP from doing something a little different. Like I said, in whatever way that you may find. Because like I was saying, if you're doing a sketchbook every single day, then you're like, damn, now I have 15 minutes that I was dedicating to a sketchbook. Maybe that could be 15 minutes to just like read something instead. You already allotted that time to something else compared to your usual schedule. So now you can find something of value after you've figured it out that can take either that slot or like take shape in a different way. Yeah. And I mean, I went on a huge tangent, but that's to answer your question of how I've been unlearning stuff and like growing as a person, I guess, because like to reflect back on it, it was a fear of failing and doing things, to now just being like taking the
the status quo, I'm trying to read your mind here.
Yeah. I'm trying to reflect back on the first thing that I said. To simply just doing everything that I love. Yeah. That's what it is.
the long climb, the climax of climbing, just for that to be said.
Yeah.
But it's true. But I mean, that is the beautiful part of it, is just doing what we want to do.
Yeah, because now I'm able to spread myself out in the ways that I couldn't envision myself before, because now the freedom has allowed me to be like, oh, I've done this, let me fine tune this in the way that I like. I love videography and I've been able to do this more professionally now, but how can I make this even better? Let me go to even more niches that I care about. So that's the connection.
Yeah. I mean, even taking my own personal career example, in college, I finished with a dual degree in sports management and accounting. And that's because for a time in my life, I wanted to be an accountant in the sports field, because that was like my interest. And not to say like you can't do that. You definitely can. And that's you finding things in your life that interest you in a career or hobby or thing that you feel like you may be stuck in. Because I'm not gonna lie, like when I was in my older company, like I felt stuck with accounting, and I felt like, what am I gonna do? Am I currently pursuing that sport route? Not right now.
Yeah,
I'm currently in my podcast arc.
Yes, sir.
To figure out if this is something that will to see it through.
Yep.
And just know whatever it is that you are choosing, you're not stuck in it. You have a choice to go around it, find some way that it'll add to interest of yours. It's just opportunity.
Yeah.
Like looking at different opportunities.
And if you find fulfillment in it, I don't think that that's like bad at all. Like I do think that, I guess there's a world where people could feel like they're missing something if like, oh, I do feel pretty fulfilled with like this baseline stuff already. Like it's not a requirement to feel like you want more, or like want to optimize or like refine the thing that you're already in. So I think that's just as important too. Yeah.
Plus being one-dimensional is boring. If you're,
I personally think that as well, but I'm like, hey, some people can rock like that, and who's for me to judge?
Well, how? I don't get it, dog. I don't get it. Especially if they're trying to expand on their dating life too.
Yeah.
They just talk about this one thing and one thing only.
I agree. No, that's the thing. Like if there's a desire or like an interest or whatever, I'm like, yo, do it.
Yeah.
Because being one-dimensional is boring as fuck.
Yeah.
But I do think that there are people that exist that are truly just like, oh yeah, this is my thing. I already know everything I want or need, and I have it, and I'm chilling or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's why I think something accessible is like, just do a little project, bro.
Yeah.
A little creative project for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
On your own time.
Yeah.
And like, if everything's fulfilling, like, what's the harm in doing that? You know, I'm not telling you to go crazy and join this dance crew.
Yeah.
You know, like, or learn this dance piece. It's just find something small for you to do to get your brain going in a different way.
Yeah.
And there'll be value there.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure you'll find something out.
Because again, like you don't know what life lessons or experiences that will teach you. And now I feel like an asshole for calling you one-dimensional people out.
Hey, no. Y'all are one-dimensional. Get it with it,
own
man.
it.
Get
Own
with the
it.
program.
Own it. All right, man. Honestly, we could always talk for hours. This is like I said, if I would look for a host, I'll be asking you to come back to do this. And obviously you're coming back. There's no way you're not coming back.
Yeah, let me know.
I just want to say, I'm forever grateful for our friendship. It's crazy because a lot of people, I just found out a mutual between us said that there's a reason why us as friends make sense. And I hope you guys listening can also see that too.
Yeah, and that's crazy for her to say. But I see it. I understand it.
But the fact it took us like what? 23, 24 years?
Yeah.
Till we actually met.
Yeah.
And we like were in the same space.
Definitely at least more than once.
Yeah. And come on, Vatana. What are you doing? Why didn't you introduce me? All right, man. Let's get into the big 3 questions. These are the last 3 questions that can leave the lasting impact on our viewers. Doing something different this time around.
Okay.
Where you're going to fill in the blank.
Oh, shit.
It's okay. You could take your time on it.
Okay, I'm definitely going to take my time.
That's good. The first question is... Sorry. I don't know if this is one that has already been answered. If it is, I might just leave the room at this point. The first question is...
Okay.
Most people say stuck because they're one-dimensional.
I mean, I was thinking about that. But I was like, shit, I don't know.
If I lose like 10 followers, I know you guys were one-dimensional.
You were the one-dimensional ones. I mean, in a way, to say that in a better way, I think there's just fear of the other side. Fear of the unknown, I guess, you know? Yeah, since I'm just finishing the sentence, I'll just say that.
No, it's fair. And just to expand a little bit, it's the fear of unknown is real.
Yeah.
Uncertainty. I think that's the thing that sparks our anxiety and worries the most. So in order for you to get over that fear, is just try it.
Yep.
Nike had the slogan all along. Just do it.
I'm telling you, man. This is what we've been harping on this podcast for some. I mean, I guess I've been in that boat, so I'm kind of just projecting it. But yeah, it is just that fear, in my opinion, of like both the negative or the positive. You know, you're just unsure of what it actually will lead to. Yeah. So by then, you're just like, maybe I won't do this because it's scary.
But no, we don't want to be scared.
Yeah, we don't want to be one-dimensional.
Oh man, I might lose followers. Just kidding. It's true shit, guys. Come on, there's a whole lot of life to live, and if you're blessed to even to experience life,
I'm telling you,
take advantage of it. All right, second question is: we can be kinder to ourselves about blank being one-dimensional.
It all leads back. It all leads back.
I'm really milking this so much.
I guess being unsure or not knowing if you're doing like the correct thing. I think.
What does that mean?
I think a lot of the stuff that we've talked about kind of can tie into that, where it's just like one indecision can be because of the unknown, but I think everyone is working towards feeling fulfilled in their life, in their being. And I think that everyone can have different routes to take for that. So yeah, not being too stressed about if the way that you're, or whatever route you're taking at the moment is like the route towards fulfillment, I guess. If that was like the right decision towards that, or if that was the wrong decision towards that. I think there's lots of life to live, and that there's fulfillment comes in like different ways. So yeah, I think people should be kinder to themselves about that, and yeah, not having the stress, I guess, to feel like everything you're doing is leading to that ultimate goal, or like that it's even purposeful. I think in a philosophical way, everything that you're doing is purposeful. All right, so you don't need to feel like it's impactful in a specific way, because I think it's just important, the fact that you're doing it.
My last question to you is: the best investment you can make in yourself is
not being one-dimensional.
I'm out of here.
I feel like I'm copping out because I'm saying the same kind of shit, but I think it's just learning. All right, I think there's no harm that you can do And yeah, if it's the idea of investment in yourself, I think that knowledge can do no harm. If anything, like, you should continue to learn, and whether that be from other people, other skills or whatever like that. I think, yeah, the more that knowledge is just super powerful. Knowledge.
The way you said it was like a one-word mic drop. Knowledge.
You don't know the meme, bro?
No.
Knowledge. Oh my gosh. I gotta show you the meme. But
Okay.
to reel it back in, knowledge, yes, is super, super important. I think it's you should never just stay stagnant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think being a student of life and being open-minded along with that to learn and really just taking in all the information and then developing your own perspective on it.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge truly is power. Truly is.
I agree.
Thank you, bro, for coming on. Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
No.
Thank you, bro, for coming on. I appreciate you. I can't wait for you to be back on, and don't be one-dimensional.
Hey, if there's anything to take,
If there's anything to take out of this whole episode, is don't be one-dimensional. All right, guys. If you liked any part of this episode, please clip it, tag me and Kyle in it. Oh, actually, would you like to plug your new podcast, by the way?
Oh, yes. It is a book podcast. We are letting the audience know every single time that we're going to review a certain book, because our goal is to have basically community like read-alongs. So our pages, paths to pages. Yeah.
On all platforms, is it?
Right now, it's just on YouTube. We plan on putting stuff on Spotify and like Instagrams and stuff like that once we get into like doing clips and stuff like that. But for now, you can check us out on YouTube. That would be the best way to do it.
If you guys liked any part of this episode, please make sure to clip it, tag me and Kyle in it. And as always, let's fall in love with the process of getting better every day and becoming the highest version of ourselves. I love y'all so much. Peace.